What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Long Division Fridays.
Bumper!
So it looks a little weird because right now I'm actually shooting this in my parents' living room because none of my stuff has gotten here yet. There was recently a move that took place. My stuff hasn't gotten here. We don't have a green screen. We have the wonderful Dave holding a microphone up here because we don't have anything. But it's okay because we're doing the show anyway. This week on Long Division Fridays, we're going to be talking about music videos. Now, this was actually a really big topic for us, so we decided that we're going to split it up into two pieces. The first piece, which is this episode, is going to be more about the introductory phases, getting started with the video, talking to the client. And then the second piece, coming out next week, because it's like a double feature, it's like an awesome double feature, is going to be all about actually filming the music video. So stick around for that. I mean, come back for that. Although if it is the next week now, you could just stick around for it. It's probably next on the playlist. Alright, so music videos. Starting off, the biggest thing is you have to hit what your client wants. At its core, music video is a hired out gig, and the people that are hiring you to do it are your clients at that point. So I know a lot of times, and I've made this mistake as well, you have this idea, you have this creative thing that you want to make, and sometimes you have the tendency to want to move away from what the client wants, but they're paying you, so don't take that for granted. What I find is best is usually to sit down with the client, and first I like to figure out a budget. Some people like to do it in a different order, but I think that figuring out their budget, and obviously what you think is going to be fair pay for you and your team, is super important right off the gate. Who says right off the gate?
I think you do.
All right then. Because if you establish a budget that you all agree with, then you can work and see, okay, do we have enough money to afford the rocket ships? Can we afford the jump out of an airplane? We don't know that until you establish a budget. So don't get ahead of yourself. Don't be like me. Don't be like me in the past and get ahead of yourself. Stick with the present. You'll like it. You'll feel better. We'll feel better. We'll all feel better. So after you have the budget laid out, I think it's really important to then move to your idea phase. Now, what I've found is that most of the time, the client will have some sort of idea of what they want, even if it's super vague. I've had a couple clients that said, hey, I want to be in the music video for most of the time, and I've had other clients say, I want the music video to be mostly not me. So it's really all preference on their part, and that's where you step in to make it work. But keeping that in mind, there's a reason that this client hired you. They want to know what you can bring to the table as far as creativity goes. If they just wanted somebody to take all of their ideas and just make them like that, then they could really just rent a camera and do it themselves. There's a reason that you're there. Another very important thing is to think about what you're capable of even before a budget is set. If you're not super familiar with music videos, it's just like anything else. You don't promise more than you can deliver. Because then that leads to disappointed clients, angry people, there's a flash mob, not the good kind. Is there a bad kind of flash mob? What I like to do next is figure out for sure which song they want to use. You'd be surprised how many artists will come to you and just want a music video and they won't know which song of theirs they want to use. Once you find the song and you have a general idea of what you want the music video to be, that's when you can really start planning. You can start looking at locations, you can start looking into any permits you might need to get. We had to get a few for some music videos that we had done. And especially in the storyboarding process, make sure that you're capable of doing all the shots. Don't plan a crane shot if you don't have a crane. I know that may seem kind of silly and counterintuitive, but it's easy to get ahead of yourself when you're planning things out. So just keep an eye on that. You'll thank me later. Yes, you will. I'll see you in the comments. You'll say, Zach, I just thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't afford a crane, and Sam Raimi is now suing me for stealing his. And also, once you have the song picked out, you can figure out if you want to do any effects with the music as well. For example, with a lot of songs that I've done and a lot of music videos that I've done, I like to speed up the track by about 30% and then shoot it in 60 to 120 frames per second, and then in post, slow it down by about 30%, so you get this cool kind of half slow-mo vibe. I think it's really neat. I've seen other directors do it before. I'm not the first person to do that by any means. But things like that you definitely need to plan out beforehand. Another thing that would be really wise to do is set up contracts. Long story short, just get it in writing. I was going to elaborate on it, but just get it in writing. It helps. It helps a lot. Also, guys, this is Dave. Dave, walk in and say hi.
Hi, guys.
That's Dave.
How are you? I'm going to go back.
Yeah, take this. And last but certainly not least is remember, this is a collaborative effort. I know I touched on it a little bit earlier, but you guys are all creative people. The musician's gonna want a really awesome piece of film, and you are gonna want something to put in your repertoire. Your repertoire. So that's about it for today's episode, guys. I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but next week we are getting into the thick bacon grease of making a music video, and also Dave is gonna do an Irish jig.
I will.
He will.
Probably.
We'll see you next time. Don't throw knives at me.